Dang, what's going on, everyone? It has been a hot minute since the very last podcast episode. Just real life got in the way, and things happened, so I had to take a back seat. Uh, but we're back. I don't know how long. Hopefully for a very long time. Um, yeah, I just had a huge absence, and I apologize, especially for those that were asking me to bring it back. I had gotten a lot of messages and everything. I've got a new phone, um, and built a brand new computer. So, with that being said, with the new phone, I lost access to the podcast Instagram where I kept all my updates. I'm trying to get it back, so we'll see how that goes. And other than that, I have to re-log into my OTB um, YouTube account. And I mean, obviously, if you're seeing this, I got back into it, but it's been kind of hectic. And again, I apologize for how long it's been taking. You see a new background and everything. That's because I had to change around my rooms, and the wall that I used is this wall right here that I'm looking at, and that's my desk is obviously up against it. So I mean, it got changed a little bit. Hopefully, I can build like a new studio-esque type of thing. But in the meantime, it's at the computer, and I feel like that's a little bit less professional, but it is what it is. This is what I got to work with. So hopefully the quality is decent. I mean, uh, yeah. So I apologize. There's all those updates, right? But yeah, I'd like to get back into the swing of it and everything. I love paintball. I've been doing it forever. It feels like forever, and that kind of segues me into my next point. We a lot of people talk about hashtag grow paintball and everything. Everybody likes to throw the term around to grow paintball, and I, to an extent, want to help approach that idea. Um, so I would like to start uploading videos as well at my local field. If I can like work something out with them, but like to work something out with my local field to where I start a series for new players or up and coming divisional players. Um, it might seem like that's kind of dumb, because who am I? I'm not a pro player, but I have been writing down. I've been thinking about this topic for quite some time, and I felt like I would get a lot of backlash. Not necessarily backlash, but I feel like people would kind of want to know my credentials to be able to tell other people and coach newer players on how to get better at paintball. So I have, ever since I've came up with this idea, um, I've been writing down some things that came to mind. I think I might have mentioned it in like my very first podcast episode, like when I started playing and my kind of a little bit of my history in playing, but I really didn't. I don't think I really went deep into it. So I might just seem like some random dude that's just off of the internet, trying to take a shot at helping newer players. But for reaffirmation, I wanted to kind of go off the list of things. Okay, so let me grab my notes real quick because I didn't write them down on the computer. I just wrote them straight onto my phone. All right, so um, a lot of people might know these as well if you've been around for a long time, but these are things I consciously thought about over the history of when I started playing paintball, things that were significant to me, um, that I can remember. So and I'll explain more after I go through this list. I might seem like I'm rambling. I do have aphasia, so I apologize. But I do have aphasia, so just try to keep up with me. But I'll explain everything after I get through this list. So these are the things that I have analyzed. This is like a little bit more of my history and what I know, um, what I I want to say analyze and what I've seen through paintball, but it's deeper. All right. So first one to start off the list, when Oliver came back to Dynasty. I used to swear that when Planet Eclipse made a spool valve that it would be the most dominating marker on the market because locally it was Poppet versus spool. So in my area where I play at, everybody was Ego fanboys. We all used Ego 7s, 8s, 9s, all that stuff. And I remember sitting down with the group of guys and being like, man, like my very first team, and being like, man, if Planet Eclipse made a spool valve like dye, they would destroy the market. And quite crazily enough, that's literally a thing right now. I remember back when there was Boom, T1 Top Gun Union, 187 Crew, PC Katana, Hometown Boys, CEP, Art Chaos, Texas, or Red Storm. So Texas Storm or Red Storm. Vicious, VCK. I remember back when Aftershock formed Heat, when X Factor won World Cup beating Impact in the blue and gray jerseys. Let me say that Impact was in the blue and gray jerseys, not X Factor. I think X Factor was wearing, they were using, so back in the day, not a lot of teams went through custom jersey sponsors. So like you did have Raza, Anthrax became a thing. GI Sports started, if you were sponsored by GI Sports, I think they were doing custom jerseys for people. And Impact, crazily enough, they like sparked a movement for like the GI logo on the half gloves, and I think they were like on the shoulders. and for Impact at least, the GI Sports logo was purple, and for a lot of other teams it was red. But I think that was just like a design choice. I think because JRAB being on Impact. But yeah, when X Factor won World Cup, I'm pretty sure that was 2013. When Thomas and JRAB got into it. When Excessive wore green and shot Impulses. When Tuntons shot 340 FPS at PSP Galveston against Shock. When X Factor wore Save Face. When Zach Wake was a penalty machine. When Mutiny was still 7-man with Legacy, Entourage, Impact, and Avalanche. When Short Bus was an ongoing web series. When there was Dixon Yang, Glenn Takamoto, Chris Sosine, Chris Lasoya, and Nikki Cuba. When AC was just a sponsor, for the most part, AC was just a sponsor, but I think they had a divisional team. The Ego 10 released the Blink colorway. The Ego 9 released the Lagoon colorway. The Ego 8 released the Mantis colorway. When Jack Woods put out an AMA on PB Nation for the CS1 and he responded to me as to why the gun looks ugly, I asked, why does the gun look ugly? To which he responded, a guy from Lamborghini designed it, so it's not ugly. The birth of the half glove. When Uprising went pro. Russian Legion was Boston Red Legion. When Dynasty and Impact joined together for Europe. Dynasty shot Luxes and Legion shot Boblong closers or marks. Infamous shot victories. Billy Bernaccio was on New England Hurricanes. When you could change the regulator to have a macro line on the Lux 1.0. Mike from Tech PB ran his alleged scandals and his Penny website. When Mouse was on Infamous. The BS between Damian Ryan and Valken. When Virtue just made boards, for the most part. And Nikki Cuba was on Ironman. So I have been around for quite some time. Mostly what I'm trying to convey is like, I have watched all of this. It's not something that I had to do research on. It's not something that I've learned because I'm brand new as of 5 years ago. I do have history with paintball for a very long time. Unfortunately, I've gone nowhere with it, especially the PSP series when PSP switched to NXL. when MPPL was around. I never really was able to get going because a lot of the teams at the time, because I was younger, were very flaky, and I couldn't have just a solid core to play with. We would say, we're going to play our local series for the whole entire year, and we'd only get like 2 events in, and then we would flake for a whole year, maybe get one, and then so that's where I was. I never was able to stick with a core group of guys, like I said, and go anywhere with it. And I started to fall out of love with the normal PSP at the time, PSP style of paintball. Especially now with the NXL, how it's like a headhunting game. You're playing. Nowadays, you're playing. What's it called? Hide and go seek, and it's just I've fallen out of love with it. I love the old. I think it was 30. We had 30 something bunkers on the field at a time, 32 or 42 or something. And yeah, I get why PSP changed, right? It was because they wanted people to make more moves and use skill instead of just hitting your first bunker, putting a lane until someone finally dared to move. And when they did, they got shot. And then when it was like a 5-on-4, 5-on-3, people would start moving. I get why they did it, but I miss that kind of stuff. But personally, I want to play ICPL. I fell in love with the concept of ICPL, and that's all I want to. That's all I really want to play. So, but what I'm getting at is with being able to teach players and stuff. I'm no pro player, but I have been playing for 16 years now. And I've analyzed a lot. I've done a lot of analyzing in the PSP webcast, when it was Matty Marshall and I forgot his name, but it's not coming to me right now. But J-Rab's dad, they were doing the webcast for PSP with the headsets and stuff. And with analyzing, I feel as though I've become a decent enough player or a good enough player to be able to pass very, very good knowledge onto players to make them much better. I'm not claiming my knowledge to be all, end all. This is what you need to follow in order to be a good player. But maybe I can put some information back to you and you can develop off of that. Because I know a lot of newer players, especially, what they do is they do watch the pros, right? But they watch the pros. They don't analyze the pros. A lot of even Division 4 players, they watch the pros and they don't analyze the pros. So what I mean by that is, yeah, they see like, oh, okay, the guy waited for a kill on the Dorito side that's keeping him down in the snake. And so he came out on the wire and started shooting the wire on the snake. But, why did they do that? Really, really understand the field layout and the field awareness and why did they do that? It could be a multitude of reasons. So I have, again, I feel as though I've got a good skill set to bring back to players that are up and coming, and hopefully something will stick. Again, I think it's a good idea. I would like to grow the sport of paintball because I feel like paintball in a weird way has hit a stagnant plateau, right? And that stagnant plateau seems to be if you look good and you look like what everybody else is playing with at the current time, you're going to get on a team and you're just going to play on that team. It doesn't, to an extent, it doesn't matter if you're good or not, right? The coach isn't necessarily, I'm not saying this is for all coaches, don't get this wrong. It's just from something I've seen. But it seems like a group of buddies get together, and even though one buddy sucks, they're not going to say anything because he looks just as good as everybody else. So don't take that the wrong way. It sounds very negative, even though I'm talking about trying to grow the sport of paintball. But like I said, I feel like we hit the stagnant and like plateau of good players and trying to get people better. Um, so yeah, maybe I guess maybe like I'll do like an episode. I've got the very first one in mind. Um, and if you tune into it and you disagree, I mean, like, just let me know. Like, let me know if how you feel about it, and like if I should continue with the series. I mean, a lot of people will. There's always going to be negative people, right? But I feel as though there will be more. There will be a lot more people taking the good out of it, and that's what I hope for, essentially. Um, so yeah, there's the first topic. Trying to start a new series for helping people out. Also, so this is going to sound awful because I'm talking about growing the sport of paintball, but the idea came upon it because I was watching a camp, um, or like I guess you would call it a camp, like when a pro visits your local field and you pay a ton of money, and they go over certain things. I feel like, and I'm not trying to take away from pro players, they gotta, you sink money. You're not going to make money playing paintball, right? For the most part, a lot of people don't make money. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff that should just be told, like just there's aspects of paintball that should just be helped out of the good of someone's heart instead of making somebody pay $200. And they only get 8 hours worth of help. So, and I'm not like, again, don't take that as like me crapping on anybody. I'm not like, again, that's what the pros are doing. That's fine. I'm not knocking that, but I feel like, sitting someone down and talking about how to refill a hopper, without looking, you shouldn't pay $200 to do that. I feel like I have a way out of my 16 years of playing to help you learn that. And it costs nothing. It costs literally nothing. And $10, $200. No, just kidding. But money says it will help you very drastically. So yeah, again, I feel like that'll be a nice little helpful thing. It'll be a nice little side project I'd like to do, to help people out. And if eventually it comes down to where I sell camps and I'm going to visit people, so be it. But I'm also still going to upload stuff here to help people out. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully that'll go over well and not bring about too much negativity. Sorry, I'm checking a shipping thing because waiting on a really cool package that I've been waiting for quite a while. Paintball related. But as for the 2024 season, isn't that crazy? Like, where are we at? Like, Thomas Taylor on NYX? Energy. I feel like Seattle Thunder, Brooklyn Bears, Energy Elite. It's like, it's this weird tie-in kind of thing. Like, keep the players, sell the spots, make money to put back into the organization. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to root for teams anymore. Like, it's hard to root for your up and coming new teams because they just kind of fall out so quickly. The Latin Saints, nobody's rooting for them, right? But when it comes to like energy, right? We only got so many seasons. I think I don't know the number. I like the years, especially with how COVID went, the years are running into one another and I can't keep up. We're already in 2024 and I feel like we're still in 2022. So when changes happen, it's hard to like keep the date. That's also why in that list I didn't go over dates because freaking I didn't know when those things happened. I can only tell you that's what I remember. like I said, when Thomas Taylor and J-Rab got into it on the snake side, when J-Rab was on damage. Um, but yeah, it's like it's hard to root for these teams. Like I wanted to root for I wanted to root for Energy, but like they're gone now. Aftermath has been around for a while. And I love rooting for Aftermath. They have it's hard to like knock a team when I used to watch them all for so much, even if it's not the original players. But like I love rooting for Aftermath, and I know they're heavily the underdog, but go Aftermath. All teams have their years. Like Iron Man used to be dominating, and now they are like stat wise bottom of the barrel. Other than Latin Saints, but they're gone. They're relegated. But I'm not hating on Iron Man either. I'm just saying it's just stat wise they have been placing dead last, if not second from last, for the most part. But yeah, like it's kind of weird. I know like they merge and everything. Teams come and go. Like PC Katana, those I went against those back in local days. I would go against PC Katana locally over at CFP, and like they came and went, and I was like, man, I used to root for those guys. I loved PC Katana. Chattanooga CEP, like they came and went. Remember their ugly jerseys? For most people, remember their ugly jerseys they wore from Dye that was like tan and like the orange tops, and it looked all like they used one piece, and it looked like pajamas that the Russians used to wear. That was God, that was a time. They went from being green and black to like that orange color. But yeah, like I don't know, it's hard to root for those guys. So I tend to just like stick to people that are gonna stay around, like Excessive. They used to be, of course, they were around for the longest time, and they were literally in the 2014 season of the Challengers instead of getting relegated to semi-pro because they were dead last every single event. They quit, and I get it. You're placing that poorly in the pro division. Do you actually feel like a pro anymore? Do you feel like a cohesive pro team? And to an extent, you have to accept, times have changed, and it's just not going to work that way anymore, which is unfortunate. Excessive was like a hometown here, like not for me, but it's like the storied Excessive. Aftershock was a storied team. They're coming back, which is awesome. Love Aftershock. But yeah, it's just kind of, like I said, I know I'm rambling a little bit and getting off topic, but what I'm trying to say is like with these teams coming up, I feel like they come into pro from semi-pro, and they're gonna have fans they already had fans, right? So like PB Fit and Blast Camp, those guys are rivals seemingly, and they have a fan base already. But it's hard to just already like them, like they didn't have a storied past. They're not a pro team from before that had fought and they took a hiatus and now they're coming back like Aftermath or Aftershock. So, and it's like hard to want to like them because are they leaving the pro scene in 2 years? New England Hurricanes, they used to be, I think they were, for the most part, they were pro at one point, and then they were freaking took a hiatus, but they're back and they had an amazing showing. Aftermath, when they came back, they took they went to Sunday, right? They did awesome. 187 Crew, for the most part, I think the story of 187 Crew wasn't 187 like VCK turned T1 Top Gun Union turned 187 and now it's Revo. I think that's how it is. I do know it's the, almost for a fact, I know it's the 187 to Revo part, but we're waiting on that return of Vicious, right? Everybody's waiting. Come on, Vicious, come back, Vicious. But anyways, I had to throw that in there. But yeah, like I said, it's just hard. I wish it was easier to root for newer teams, but it gets hard when you just sell a pro spot, and teams just merge. We had LVL. They weren't the best. They weren't the worst, but they got bought up, and now it's Aftershock. Nothing wrong with that either. I'm just pointing out another, like, this is also what happened, for proof. But it's interesting. 2024 season is going to be crazy. I mean, the moves have been crazy. There's so many moves. Like, let me bring it up on my monitor real quick. That's like this monitor right here, and see here we got let's see, paintball roster moves. I can't remember the name of the website. Iconic Paintball. Iconic. So, like, this is the tracker. Mike Urena leaves Dynasty, which is kind of crazy. I really like Mike Urena. It's just he joins Impact, which is another strong, very strong team. But it's weird, man. I feel like Mike Urena and like Andrade, they are like staples to Dynasty. At least I thought they were like the new Dynasty. Doesn't just pick up any player. They're gonna pick up someone that they can mold to their play style, right? And I felt like Urena was doing great, but I could be wrong. I'm not in the camp, so I don't know. Damage has been the same exact damage as it's always been. This freaking always strong, super strong damage. Houston Heat. Ryan Smith becomes head coach because Todd Martinez leaves for Aftershock. We all know that. Impact. Matt Jackson leaves for X Factor. I thought kind of Matt Jackson to Impact was kind of a weird one. I guess they saw like I look at paintball in a tier system, and like Matt Jackson comes from AC, and AC wasn't a contender. Like AC's strong. AC is a very strong team, but I don't feel like they were as strong maybe as Impact was. And bringing Matt Jackson to Impact was kind of like a weird one. Maybe they were like a dynasty situation. They were going to mold him. But I felt like Matt Jackson was one of the stronger guys on AC. Yeah, I don't really know how to like, because my, like, again, my aphasia, it's hard to like articulate this, but it makes sense in my head. But Matt Jackson going to X Factor seems very strong. Rob Velez goes from Revo to Impact, which is kind of crazy. I always look at Revo like Uprising. It's just in like Damage. It's a solid group of guys that will never change, but that's obviously not true. I mean, I know 187 picked up Sloviak and stuff, but for the most part, I feel like they don't really change. And Rob Velez was like almost one of the faces for Revo. San Antonio X Factor. Thomas Guest leaves to join Ironman for 2024. Cody Mikowski departs the team and will join Diesel. And Matt Jackson comes back. Yeah, for the most part, it sounds right. New York Extreme, NYX. So Thomas Taylor, again, he departs Infamous and goes to Extreme, which is, again, just insane. It's an insane one. I thought Thomas Taylor, like, dude, I thought if Thomas Taylor sees this, I thought he was going to die on Infamous. Not even kidding. I thought he was going to die on Infamous or he was going to retire on Infamous. I didn't think there was any in between. Maybe go to X Factor, maybe, but I don't know. From analyzing Infamous throughout all the years and stuff like that, I feel like Infamous is that, like, or at least used to be, and when they were in their orange jerseys, the down and dirty, nitty gritty, just like high octane paintball of aggression, like sheer aggression and like Of course, they've calmed down from that, but I felt like Thomas Taylor really fit the part. And like, who else is like that in paintball now? Like, not really anyone. I don't think anyone, even Infamous, has calmed it down from that. So Infamous, we lose Matt Rao. Will depart from 2024 to get more playing time in semi-pro. Thomas Taylor, of course, goes to NYX. Revo, Stephen O'Mara goes to Ironman for 2024. Sense goes to Ironman from 2024, and Velez goes to Impact. That's the crazy part, was like Sense, O'Mara, Velez. Like, I thought those were like the three OG. Those are like the three OGs, aren't they? Like they did it all from 187 to Revo and stuff. I don't know. Kyle Bowen goes to Revo. Devin Stewart joins the team after leaving Energy. Anna Tomaso leaves Bears to join Baltimore Revo. I know he went from Aftermath to Bears to Revo. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one, dude. Revo's always a contender. Like, I feel like they always make Sunday. They always make Sunday, and they just can't. They just can't punch into the semis or something. Like, I think they do make. I think for the most part they do get into semifinals and stuff like that. But like when it comes to consistently doing it, I feel like they're always a Sunday team, but they're not. They're just right there, right? They're just right there. They'll get it one day. Aftermath roster doesn't change, at least on Iconic. It does not change. I thought something might have changed, but Hurricanes, nothing changes. Had an awesome season, so good luck, Hurricanes. Russian Legion. Russian Legion's my favorite paintball team. They have been not had a good showing. J-Rab rejoins, which is kind of insane. I think he left in the beginning. Now this could be totally wrong, but this is like the stuff that I heard back in the day and over PB Nation, that I don't know if this is true, right? This is alleged. This is just a rumor. So what I'm about to say, don't think this is true unless it actually is, because I don't know. There was like huge disagreements with the coaching staff, and that's why J-Rab left. That's why Fedorov left. And a lot of the heavy hitters left Russian Legion, is because there was just a discourse between the players and the coaching staff. AC Diesel, Shane Howell departs Diesel to join Uprising. Whoa. J-Rab cut from the team, will play with Russian Legion. Ryan Gray hired as a new head coach. Cody Mikowski signs for Diesel. It's crazy. I did not know Uprising was making changes. Uprising is another one of my favorite teams. Unfortunately, what it is like Russian Legion is my favorite team, and then I have three other teams tied for second place. But for the most part, I love all pro teams. ML Kings, man, they needed a big roster shakeup. They really did. ML Kings it's been a weird one with them. I feel like ML Kings is just there. They just had an opening where I think they do this like every year. I could be wrong, but ML Kings just did a thing in Florida where they did tryouts for their pro spot. I missed it. Pretty upset about that. That I missed the cut, but it is what it is. I hit up Diesel though for I hit up AC Diesel for pro ICPL. I just have to hear back from them. Tryouts are this weekend, but I don't know if it's like yeah, they message you back and say, hey, yeah, come on out. We want to see what you like, or if you just show up. So I might end up missing this one this weekend, but going to the next set and busting my balls to get a spot. Because like I said, I want to do a ICPL real bad. But yeah, projected roster. Jim Corcoran cut from the team. Amin Rodriguez, sorry if I butchered your first name, cut from the team. Ricky Smith cut from the team. Local pro I talked to. John Woodley cut from the team. That's a crazy one. I want to know where John Woodley ends up. It's kind of weird that John Woodley gets cut. Maybe he's not showing out. I should go look at some webcasts of ML King, but I always felt like John Woodley, LJ, was a very good player. I don't know. I always felt like he was a good player. I know I don't have it. I know I don't have the stuff up right here, and I'm just looking at this so you guys aren't looking at what I'm looking at. So I apologize. Harris Hussein joins the team for 2024, rumored to have purchased the team. There's been a lot of talk about that. He just got to Notorious, and then it's kind of weird. If you watch like the Notorious like series, like documentary that was going on, I think it was a documentary, but if you watch the documentary-esque thing that was going on, he looked like he was going to play for quite a while and looked like he was a solid pickup for the team. And then out of nowhere, you just see stuff on Instagram about him hanging out with ML King. So I don't know. Energy Elite sells professional franchise to Blast Camp, merging into the Brooklyn Bears roster. So if you guys saw the blow up on Instagram, Brooklyn Bears just picked up like 2 entire teams. So they have like 18 to 20 players on their team. Not literally, but yeah. I thought the Energy Elite logo was pretty cool too. Chicago Aftershock. Everybody's saying this. Very interested to see how it goes. See how Aftershock performs. It's essentially they picked up almost everybody from 2020 Ironman, which is good. I mean, that's the team that made it to Sunday, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Danny Schonauer departs team to go to Dynasty. Ian Rolfson leaves team to join Wrecking Crew in semi-pro. So, because the Columbus LVL sold to Todd Adamson for an undisclosed sum. We'll keep going because don't want to spend too much time on Aftershock. That's a huge conspiracy. We'll see how that goes. I think it'll be great. Brooklyn Bears. Frank Antetomaso leaves to join Revo. Chris Caputo, or sorry if I butchered that, but Chris Caputo leaves to rejoin New Jersey Leverage in semi-pro. Ivan Gonzalez goes to Leverage for semi-pro. Scott Graham departs team, signs with Ironman for 2024. Pretty sure Scott Graham was also a huge staple of Uprising too. Someone named Graham. Yeah, I think it was Scott Graham. But yeah, he went to Ironman. Mark Barolo signs for Bears. So I like the idea of the Bears. I do. But Thunder to Bears. Energy goes with Bears. It's kind of crazy. Seattle Uprising. Love these guys. That's who I might be thinking of, is Graham Arnold. Yeah. So Mike Daniels back to team after injury. Shane Howe departs Diesel to join Uprising for 2024. So wish the boys best of luck. Love Uprising. Ironman. Yeah. So much crap happened with Ironman. I'm taken aback that Ironman cut Sloviak. Um, in my opinion, Sloviak was the strongest player on the team. Like, I'm just going to say it. I feel like he was the strongest player. And they cut him. I mean, I don't know about that, bro. But Boyum gets cut from the team. Fernandez gets cut from the team. Corey Field left the team. Patty Gleason left the team. Gomez was cut from the team. Sloviak cut from the team. Tregarthen retired from pro paintball. Thomas Guest leaves X Factor to join. Omara leaves Revo to join. Sense leaves Revo to join. Geiger leaves Revo to join. Damian Vasquez departs Newbies to join Ironman. So that's kind of I pretty much just picked up all of Revo, right? Wasn't Thomas Guest at one point? Let me look it up here. Wasn't he Revo at one point? I could be like horrendously wrong. Let me look at like 2018 Las Vegas Open. You have Revo placed 4th place. That's what I'm saying. They are such a good contender. They're like right there. You guys remember Boom? I love Boom. No, we had Trailer. Oh, Dan Zaleski, Trailer, Eddie Painter. Huh. What was Guest on? Let me see here. X Factor. So let me go back to like, let's just say 2023 World Cup. Yeah, Revo took 4th place in World. I think this might be overall rankings. Yeah, but they were 4th. They were 4th overall. No, they were 4th. Yeah, they were 4th in frickin' what's it called? They picked up a D2 player and a semi-pro player for that? Dang. But, dude, that's what I'm saying. Revo is so close. Always so close. So he left X Factor. Let's see here. All right. Because I want to get this right. I don't want to like steer anyone in the wrong place. So Guest was, yeah, he was on Revo for 1 year in 2020. He was then he was on Aftermath to Revo X Factor. Okay, I was gonna say it. So for the most part, they just picked up Revo. They just picked up Revo. For the most part. Austin Notorious. Man, I see these guys all over the place. Like, I remember seeing them back when I was playing Divisional, and like, I always remember their camo jerseys with like the colored ammo straps. Always thought it was an interesting logo. Just like Houston Zone, if anyone remembers Houston Zone, their jerseys and logos and stuff was kind of very different, very different. But Austin Notorious, dude, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't even know. Can I look them up real quick? Let's see. Paintball Leagues, Austin Notorious. They're taking almost last place every single time. They came in, they're 14th out of 20, 20th out of 20, 10th out of 20. That's good. 19 out of 20, 14 out of 16, 19 out of 20. Yeah, I don't know, man. I will say this real quick about Ironman. I feel like Ironman should have been relegated to semi-pro. I genuinely feel that way. If Latin Saints do horrendously and they got relegated, the only reason why Ironman isn't getting relegated is the league just got paid off, or like it's because they're a historic team, and like that's a shame. I mean, I don't know who the spot could go to, but I mean, just like I know there's fans. I'm a fan of Ironman too. I love the Ironman, but even like how awful Russian Legion has been, like if you're consistently placing the lower end of last 3 places, maybe the last 5 places, consistently every tournament for the past 3-4 years, man, like you should have been cut just as quick as Latin Saints. That's just my opinion. And that's no disrespect or anything. And I'm not saying the players on the team are awful or bad and they don't deserve a pro spot. Like, just on paper, if you're doing that bad, I feel like you shouldn't be called a pro team. Like, you should go back to semi-pro, work on yourselves, start making those first place, and then get back into the pro division. I think if that were to happen, that would be a crazy positive story for Ironman, because of the fact that, like, let's say you stay in the pro league and you're just like, oh, Ironman takes last again. Ironman takes one of the last 4 spots again. No surprise there. And like, you have this baggage on your shoulders to like perform and you just can't quite get it, right? Be it that there's no chemistry, the coaching is not doing great, whatever it may be, right? But if you go to semi-pro and start dominating back in semi-pro, and then you come back and it's like reintroducing Ironman to the pro league, it's almost like you guys took that hiatus and then came back, just like Aftershock. Aftershock was not doing well. I think it was like 2017, right? And it's not that they weren't doing well. I think it was they did not like the way the tournament style was going. I can't really remember what was said, but I think it was something of that. They didn't really like how it was going. Maybe I'm thinking of Carl Markowski, and what he was saying. Like, he didn't really like how it was going, I'm pretty sure. And so they just disbanded. But like, it's just like that. It's just like Aftermath. When Aftermath came back, yeah, they're not doing as great as everybody would like, but when they came back, it was like, whoa, what, Aftermath? It's the same. It's like Aftershock. Aftershock's coming back. Vicious. If Vicious were to come back, it would be crazy. So I don't know. For Ironman, I feel like it would be in their best interest to go semi-pro, get their crap together, and then come back and just show out. You know what I'm saying? Just reinvigorate, reintroduce Ironman as the powerhouse. Paintball Fit, nothing changes. Latin Saints, relegated from the pro division. Pfft, nobody cares. And that's about it. We have free agents with Mancy, formerly of AC, Montalvo, formerly of Latin Saints and ML Kings. I bought my, I'm pretty sure it was Montalvo. I bought my profilers off of him. Boyum, formerly of Ironman. Vladimir Kozyrev, formerly of Revo. Al Fernandez, formerly of Ironman. Patty Gleason, formerly of Ironman. Adam Gomez, formerly of Ironman. Matt Rao, formerly of Infamous. Colin Cherry, formerly of Saints. Jared Sester, formerly of Brooklyn. Greg Hrostek, formerly of Brooklyn. And Jason Wheeler, formerly of Gladiatori Unicusano EU. So, yeah, this 2024 season is going to be crazy. A lot of people are like really, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of hate too about like my whole Latin Saints take. But like, here's the situation with Latin Saints, right? The owners they came into paintball, an already niche hobby, right? Tried to buy out a piss ton of players to outperform, and nothing, and for the most part, nothing wrong with that. Like you have to get pro players for a pro team. You can't just get a pro spot and then just not perform at all and not have pro players. I understand that. But it was what the company did to the players. It was pretty much a spit in the face to the players. And did this whole rigmarole and led players on for the most part about payment. And then when the initial dude left and then the new people stepped in, they talked a lot of crap on Instagram. They talked, that it's new and it's not going to be the same, and they're going to, again, talk crap. And they just did piss poor the whole entire season. And everybody told them. And it was a waste of to be honest, it was a waste of a pro spot. It's kind of crazy that NXL allowed something like that. Anybody can just come in and just buy a pro spot. It sucks. Like, I don't know. I come from the line of you work for it, you get it. You've worked through your divisions and got that spot. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of crazy that happened. It was like a spit in the face to all the players that wanted so badly to have a pro spot, that worked throughout their years of having a pro spot for that to happen. And then, again, like, it was a spit in the face. So, F them. Latin Saints, they deserve to be relegated. I'm not crapping on the players. I'm crapping on the owners and the organization, not the players at all. That's not what I'm crapping on. They deserve to get the fuck out of paintball, or at least, the again, not the players. I'm not talking about the players at all. So yeah, it's just crappy. I don't know. I felt like, for all intents and purposes, and the players that play and all the people that put their heart into paintball, for that to happen was just annoying. It was just annoying. Did I go over Houston Heat? Yeah, Tom Martinez and Ryan Smith. So yeah, does anybody look at the Houston, really quickly, does anybody look at the Houston Heat logo and the Houston part look like Minecraft text? Like the Minecraft font? I don't know. I just noticed it. Like that has never been a concept until just now. But love the guys on Houston Heat though. But anyways, so I think that'll do it for this episode. I'm very excited to see how 2024 goes. Excited for helping players out and doing a series for helping players play and getting them better. Again, along with that too, is for my entire paintball career, I have played scenario paintball, and I have taken home crazy amount of awards. And a crazy amount of awards that I can't even. They're at the owner of the team's home. So like, in order for me to get those, I'd have to go hit them up and like go take a picture of it. So if people are interested in that, I will do that. Me and the owner are still great people. We're still great friends. But yeah, it's gonna be a crazy season. I can't wait to. I want to see what everybody's take on it is. I want to see what everyone, if they think, ML Kings are going to start taking first, if Aftershock is going to blow everybody up and start taking podium every single event, or if Dynasty is going to continue to just dominate. So, yeah, that'll go for this episode. And I'll see you guys in the next one, and maybe even the first episode of helping players out. So I'll catch you later.